Welcome, if you're actually here, that is. Welcome. Not sure if you can actually hear me. Sounds like you can. I'm watching the stream. Alright, so it looks like the stream's all good. Sorry about my microphone here, if you're watching. I've set up a quick casual match in DBC14 between Baylra and South Africa. So I wanted to show one of the base teams that comes with the game, because South Africa is obviously a real-life team that just so happens to be an RP nation as well. And then, in addition, I'm going to be showing off the Baylra in 11. So, we're just jumping into a modified game format called DT20, short for Double T20. It's basically a shortened form of the one-day international that I personally have made up. And I won't really explain it because I just want to see if the stream works and if the game is working. So I will look at the chat replay and at the current live chat through my phone here. So just chat with me. I'll be here. And just tell me if there's any problems. And now, off to the races. So we're just about to start here. South Africa won the toss and elected to bowl. The format isn't really that difficult. The game itself doesn't really matter. It's not actually part of the World Cup. So, first ball out here, it's a nil inside the circle. The restriction circle. I believe I set this up for like a power play for 5 overs, which means that the bowling side, South Africa, are restricted in their fielding placements for the next 5 overs, I think. I'm actually going to turn down the what do you call it? The menu sound effects, first of all. Sure. The crowd, I'm going to turn that down. The PA announcer. In-game sound effects. And player vocals. So, turn that all down. South Africa bowls the third ball. It's through the gap. That's going to be 2. Fielder saves it. Almost a sure 4 had he not dived for it. Good fielding. The bowler is Fangiso. And they've appealed. I think that's an LBW. I wasn't really paying attention, sorry. Yeah, the umpire has given it. They can go for the video review. I don't think they are. That looked like it was going to hit the bails. Oh, they're going for it. Let's see. Alright, it's a legal ball. No question on that. Bowled fair. Oh, what did they go? Oh, okay. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, no, they are going for LBW. Alright, here they're just trying to see if he hit it with the bat. It's obvious that he didn't, because if he hit it with the bat before it hit his pads, it's not LBW. For those less familiar with the sport. Yeah, it's very clearly he has not hit that with his bat. So, obvious, not an LB. Obviously, the LBW call, at least, is valid. The appeal. And now we'll go to the DRS review to see if it would have actually hit the wicket. And I'm pretty sure this is going to return. Oh, it's going to return umpire's calls. So, yes, the review, although unsuccessful, was actually warranted. It will stay an out. Baylra now on 3 for 1. But it was umpire's call, so actually a good idea. They will save that review for later because it was umpire's call. And now the next batsman is third Kala, and immediately smacks it for a single. The next ball. Ooh, behind. It just skips by the first over done here, and it's Baylra 4 for 1. Bangiso bowling a fairly good over for a power play. Just a 1-2 off that over. The bowler from the other side, Lanavo El Toby, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that properly. Here for the 7th ball, it's a fast medium bowler. And that's through the gap. That's going to be the first boundary ball. Or, whoa. You know, I need to turn on... You know what? I'm going to turn on the aerial... where is it? Because I actually can't see this thing. I'm going to turn on the aerial marker. Now, I'll just turn on the ball trail. Actually, you know what? If you're watching right now, please do tell me if you'd like the aerial. I think I'll change it up a bit every couple of overs. Give you guys a chance to see what it all looks like, and you guys tell me if you'd rather see the aerial marker, the ball trail, which is what you're currently seeing right now. Oh! Throw is off and short. Because I can't see the ball. I could not see that 6. I actually thought that was on the ground. Because I couldn't see it. And I can see it sort of better now with the ball trail, I'll admit, but it does look weird, sort of, having the ball trail. It just looks like kind of weird. They're gonna go for 2 here, Baylra. That's almost ended up being a bad idea. Batsman dives and he saves his wicket. And next ball, it'll be a dot. Baylra having a fairly successful over here as the last ball of it comes through. It misses! No contact, and the over ends with a dot ball. Now, I wouldn't say I'm actually the most qualified person to commentate a cricket match. I know the basics. I can tell you that's an LBW. I can tell you that's a 6, that's a 4, that's whatever it is. But when it comes to technical details, I'm not so sure. But I do have the game, DBC14, so that's why I'm doing this in the first place. Excuse me. So, Fangiso to Kalar. Through the gap. That is going to the rope. That's 4. Kalar now moves to 14. Off 6. I can't be sure if the game is lagging or not, because on my end it does look like it's lagging. Sort of. Not very hard, but certainly there. And there's a... Jesus. Sorry, there's something got on my arm here in real life. And the next ball. Oh! He's bungled the catch! Lucky to survive on that one. Wait, I'll admit, again, I have no idea what's going on. No, that would have been a sure out, except it knocked him on the head. I hope the fielder's alright. That was a very good dive. Would have been well worth the effort had he gotten it. They're going for 2 here. They'll get it with a nice run between the wickets. And the end of the 3rd over off this ball. It will be 1, and that's a run off every ball but the 4th this over. So the batsmen are settling into Fankiso's little routine here. And we'll see if it works out in their favour. Excuse me. I'm looking at the delay here, and it looks like we're facing a delay of maybe 5 seconds, I'd estimate, with my current setup. My internet is pretty good when it works, but sometimes it doesn't because this is Florida, it's June, and there's storms every other week. The whole of last week was rained out and my internet was pretty spotty, to say the least. So Baylra on 25 for 1 on the power play. Sobi to Nishi. It's good for naught. So South Africa have 2 in the slips. Oh! Oh! Might have had him there if the throw had been quicker. It wasn't. Baylra lucky to survive. So they have 2 slip fielders, South Africa. Oh, another same ball! This time even slower than the last. If I could actually get a breathing moment. You can see at the top left of your screen right now while the ball is being bowled! He's edged it! And that is a certain finger up. He's out. He's off. There's no appealing this. There's no reviewing this one, excuse me. Benishi is gone 13 balls in for 9. Mind you, I've made Baylra an average team, I'd say. South Africa is slightly better than Baylra. Now, I'm basing... Alright, of course one of the limitations of being not a real-life cricket announcer is that sometimes you have to go and take time off when you're in real life. So, I'll leave you for just over a minute here as I go and see what's going on outside. Baylra 27 for 2. After 4 overs, a run rate of 6.75. I'll leave you on the scoreboard. I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, I'm back with, not much, really. We'll just go back to the little trade we have going on here. And one of the wonderful things about not being in real life is that you can pause the game at any time. That's going to roll for 4 Baylra. Getting a bit lucky on that shot, goes over the fielder's head. Let's see the replay. Yep, over the fielder's head, just enough power on that shot. For the actual games, I'm going to print out some stuff and everything, of course, because this is just a casual match. I'm not really doing anything special. For the actual matches, I'll print something out and everything. And it goes through, past the fielder, and that's going to be an unsavable 4. Well, I wouldn't say that. Actually, he might have been able to die for it, possibly save before. But the sweep shot works, and the fielding... Oh, no. From the broadcast angle, it looks like he had a chance, but upon the review camera, it certainly was not. And another sweep, I think. Was it? No, excuse me, I'm looking at this thing completely backwards. My apologies. I'm used to looking at this from the opposite angle, because when I play this game, and not in broadcast mode, the batsman is the one closer to you. The striking batsman is the one closer to you. Another one of those over the head plays. I'm going to be cutting out every couple of balls. That sounds pretty wrong. Pangisa to Kala.
Yes, bowler.
I don't know, honestly, because this is the first match I've tested the Baylra team in. And I'm not too sure how it's going to go. So 3 boundary balls off that over. You know what? I will leave you guys just the commentary. Well, not the commentary, the in-game sounds, so that you guys can get a look for it, a feel for it. And he unnecessarily hits the wicket there. So I'm going to cut out for a bit, and I will be back at the end of this over to commentate on the results of as this ball gets intercepted. Sure.
End of the 6th over to 51.
So an interesting over here, as I cut it a bit. So I have my microphone off. A very aggressive over by Baylra. It ended up paying off fairly well. They're putting up a decent run rate, I think. at the moment. Morn Morkel, the new bowler for South Africa. Now we're, as you can see on the bottom, we're live from Ataturk Stadium, which I've designated the home pitch of the Baylra side. Now, I don't know how YouTube actually deals with this live stream. I know that it gets saved as a video, as a live stream recording. I don't know exactly how that processes and everything.
Waiting. Nice bowling. Yes, keeper.
Sorry about that. I had to go and grab some water. Ugh. Something happened in my mouth. Yeah. An interesting over here then. They inside they're kept pretty quiet. That fast bowling. And another change in the bowling. Yes, because the bowling caps are enabled as well.
Yes, bowler.
Mind you, I made this game mode personally, because you can customize game modes in this game.
You catch it.
What?
Yes, keeper.
Ooh, a nice catch. Saves a couple. Next ball then. Behardine to Meglos. Leave one of two Greeks on the Baylra side. In an over, so I will change the. Oh, that's a certain out. What was he thinking there? What was he trying to do with that ball? Kalar dismissed. Hot for 33. Just terrible stroke decisions. Not what he wanted. I don't know what he was thinking here. There was no way he could have hit that ball properly. And after the last couple overs where the Baylorans have been hitting remarkably high, I'd say they really should not have taken that chance. And it sounds like they did. And that's why Makar is now up. Strolls in for the single to start it off. Behardine. Already taken a wicket. So they're moving quickly. As I said before, the teams are relatively well matched, with the Baylra side being slightly worse than the South African side, I'd say. I did base the RP teams, at least the ones that were in the last World Cup, based on their World Cup performances, relatively. So I've made Diamond Confederacy the best team, because they won last year. Now, that's not to say that they won't lose any matches. They could easily lose a match, because they're not going to be that dominant. Because they weren't. They not in the last World Cup, at least. They were not. They weren't incredibly dominant. Oh, that's in front. He's found it, sort of. The turning for two, but go long to the wicketkeeper, and it's not. Alright. They're going for... Oh. 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 Bad commentating. I'll let the closeness of that ball speak for itself. Goes for naught. At the end of the 10th over, I'll switch the ball tracking system thing with the ball trail, and I'll switch it for has to dive on that one. Didn't run too fast. Alright, I'll shut up for the moment here. Now tell me what you think of my commentary as well. Relatively, am I speaking too much, too little, too fast, too slow? All that. The complete yoker.
Keep up, keep up!
End of the 10th over, 3-73. Welcome the new bowler into the attack for the fielding team. End of the 11th over, 3 for 81. Change in bowling lineup for the fielding team.
Alright, I'm back. After just about 2 overs. I was just taking a look at how the stream was going. I've noticed that it's actually really laggy. I don't know why. Hopefully that will resolve itself on replay. On the playback function when it uploads the full video on YouTube. Fingers crossed. Because if not, I might as well just do it videos only. Instead, oh, big, that is another 6. That's another 6. Nowhere near as big as the other one that I just saw a couple balls ago. That one went for 100 meters. 300 feet or so. And certainly an odd choice of balls bowled by our bowler here, Morkel. Baylra now, stepping up the run rate quite considerably. If we take a look right now, they're on 98 for 3, with a run rate nearing 8 per over, which means they're consistently scoring at least 2 multi-run balls on over. Alright, that's gonna go for another single. Excuse me. Up, and that's another one. Oh, yes, the end. Now, please, when you're on the chat, if you guys can tell me any problems with it, that way I can see it on the chat replay or live, because I have it on my phone here. That would be pretty helpful. That's another wide. Another one? Sorry, a wide. I think that's the first wide. Yep. It's straight on. That is probably my phone being connected. Oh. Actually, you can see how laggy the stream is. That's really getting there. I'm surprised. Yeah, so just keep the chat updated if there are any problems. Sorry about the phone. Looks like someone's calling my dad because of Father's Day. I don't know how many people are even watching this right now. I'm actually gonna go check right now. Two watching right now. 2 people are watching my laggy live stream. It actually looks like it's speeding up a bit, the live stream. No, it's not. Yeah, so the live stream looks like it's getting about 20 frames. And on my end, I'm getting about 40 frames. And when I'm not streaming or taping this, I'm getting 60 frames because I think the game has a frame limit capping. Sorry. Now these two, Megalus and his partner, Makar, have just reached a partnership of 50, which I would say is somewhat common in cricket. What's more rare is to see a batsman reach 50 or 100, especially in a T20 or ODI environment. It's not so. Oh! Ew! Almost caught and bowled him there. Practically on top of that ball as it came out. Alright, so I'm looking at the chat. I don't know who Dead Meme is. But they just said oof. Oof. Anyways, it's me, Azersland, or who RPs is France in the RP if you're wondering. And my actual name is Ben, and that's all you're gonna know about me, ever. Oh, he's gonna look at that one. That's not a wide, says the umpire. Now, I am looking at the chat and the stream in general, and it's still laggy, so I'm gonna look into that. If that's my internet, or the game, or YouTube being crappy. I don't know. I have to go figure that out. This is literally the first time I've ever live streamed in my life. Baylra 112 for 3. That's a decent score, a respectable score here. After almost 15 overs completed of their first innings. Now, usually in a one-day game, you don't have two innings. But the way I've
End of the 15th over, 3 for 114. Welcome the new bowler into the attack for the fielding team.
Ah! Now that's what I like to call a nice catch. The outside environment here is being a bit noisy. A bit noisy with some noise being made. We're actually packing for a trip going on in 10 days' time. After, I'll have enough time to do the cup coverage, but yeah, we're packing, so it's a bit of a red, white, and blue. So it's cook. After that nice catch, there's. So once the innings ends for Baylra. Oh! Impressive! Another one, another near caught and bowled. Oh! Oh, that's gotta hurt. Getting smacked in the chest by a cricket ball that's going something like, what, 160, 170 kilometers per hour? I assume. That's gotta hurt. It's in the air. Oh, a diving catch this time. And Baylra falling like flies in a kitchen. Now, I'm looking at the chat again. Not the chat, the live. Oh! That's 2 in a row! That's 2 in a row! And now, the hat-trick ball. Coming up. Cook, dismissed for a duck. No offense, Duckstan. So it's edged behind the wicketkeeper, a elementary catch. Georg Belodis will face the hat-trick ball here. The nerves, but nothing off it. Oh, the agony must be heavy. But a good chance still. That ball looked certainly like a flyer. I can't believe it's still. I still can't believe it went on the ground. He played a risky shot. But it paid off in the end. Certainly well worth it. In the end, he showed up the bowler and agonized him in what was looking to be his moment of glory. So going back to Ryan Claren here, who has bowled a few. And it's just outside the restriction circle. Collected. Claren, 20 runs given up by McLaren with no good results. That's a wide. oddly enough, it wides for some reason, end up also being called for balls that go high and out of reach still, which is kind of weird. That really should, ideally that should just be a generic no ball, because you shouldn't be bowling over the batsman's head. That's just ridiculous. That far above the batsman's head. Sure, you can bowl bouncers, even though that could be construed as being ridiculous, especially if you knock the batsman's helmet off and cause it to be hit wicket. But understandably so, it exists for a reason. Just, there's some stupidity. Just barely missing. Just the luck of the ball saving Baylra. That's a bit in the air, though. Not be greedy here and go for one. So that's another one. Actually, I haven't seen anyone get smacked in the head in this game yet by a bowled ball, but I'm sure it's only a matter of time. Alright, they're going back to Fengi, so maybe I didn't put in a bowling restriction after all. Oh, and Fengiso humiliated off the first ball. That's 4. Baylra 143 for 6 as they approach the end of their first innings. Compulsory closure at 20, reason why it's called double T20. So after 20 overs, South Africa will get the bat, and ignore the sound in the background. Of course, luckily this is just an exhibition match, so I'm not too concerned about such things. Current run rate of 7.8 runs in over the Baylra side. That's a good one, placed underneath his partner's legs. It'll go for a single. They've got a couple at silly, and he's put that through the gap. That's 4. Oh. Huh. Good one. Advances. A bit of cheekiness there, but not much. And they've patched that up. So the last over for Baylra's first about to begin. They've put up a respectable score of of course I can't see. Real life announcers can see all this. Real life announcers can see all the stats in real time off a display or something. I can't. I can only see what you see. Or if I pause the game, which you still see. But now I know that it's 149 that they're on. And it's over the head, make that 153. And that's actually a very respectable score. For 20 overs, to get 153. And multiply that by 2 because they get 2 innings. They have a score of 306. 306 over 40 overs is a very respectable score. Somewhat of a respectable score, although not so much anymore, I'd say. In modern times, it really depends on who you're playing. I mean, England the other day were dismissed in their ODI 50 overs for what, 290 something, I think. Although in general England is crap. I'm sorry. They've not been doing too well. The only thing they've really been benefiting off of for the Australian tour is their is the ball tampering scandal that Australia had during their little test tour with South Africa. And that's really been the talk of the town. The final ball of Baylra's first innings, and it'll be through the gap, but not quite enough to reach the rope. Baylra will end their first innings with a score of 161 for 6.
Into the 20th over, 6 for 161.
So some good work out there. And now it's time to see what the Bayrons can do bowling and the South Africans batting. Bayrons retire to the pavilion, and the South Africans come in, eager to chase down this 161. It's 12:30 in the afternoon in game. And alright, so let's see. I think I set DT20s to begin at 9, which would mean over the course of about an hour, we've done the work of, what is it? 4? 3.5. Which is not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, so let's see the scorecard here. Solak, Kovac, and Terzi did not bat. Wait a minute. Yeah, did not bat. Kukuk, sadly, dismissed for a duck. And everyone that was dismissed caught, with the exception of Demetria, who was LBW. That's quite impressively bad too. Which means the Baylrans really need to be working on their lineup here. If they're starting a if they're starting a man who has gotten himself out for 2, off of 2. Strike rate notwithstanding, they've done a terrible job. Now, honestly, it's possible that we might see much better batting from the South Africans than we did the Baylrans. Because I think I've not made the Baylran bowling all that impressive. But we shall see as we proceed to the second innings. Right, Bahadine, having taken 3 wickets for 24 runs. And the best batsman on the Baylran side was Nakar, who was 48 out, caught. The best fielder was the Cock, who caught 2. And in general, the Baylrans have put up a good 161 over 20. And we'll see what they can do bowling. And we move on. Quentin de Cock, the lead-off, and his partner will be Amla. Hashim El Amla. Hasib Salak, the starting bowler. South Africa chasing 161. And the first ball for them. It's through the gap. And it's a confidence-inducing 4 to start off the South African innings. Ooh. Smacked right into the ground. I'm just curious to see how well their bowling does. Okay, this is odd. Now, for some reason, the wicket-keepers in this game do not like to wear wicket-keeper helmets. None of them.
Yes, keeper!
I'm not saying absolutely not. I'm saying absolutely not. They will not wear wicket-keeper helmets. They will always wear hats, and I still haven't figured out how to fix this. Which is quite annoying. I mean, there are some... I'm pretty sure helmets are required at the international level. I'm pretty sure. For wicket-keepers. They've been required for batsmen for years now. I don't know if they're required for wicket-keepers. I'm not too well versed on the subject. So let me look at that right now.
Right.
End of the first over, none for 8.
Rudolph Kolbach, the man from the other side, started off. It's high up there. Ah! Tries to dive for it and doesn't quite get it. I don't know, the game looked a bit weird there. He was on that. Sort of. He could have dove for that, but the game must have some weird way of telling him to do that, and he didn't. Oh, that's not what you want to see. That's 2 fours in a row. Okay, so I've just looked it up, and no, it's not actually mandatory that a wicketkeeper wear a helmet. And now that is what I like to call a ridiculously good ball. Just had him playing all over it. He couldn't tell where that was going. He was just easily tricked. You can just see it here, especially from this angle. He's just missed it, is all. It's apparently not mandatory for wicketkeepers to wear helmets. Which is interesting. Because I thought it was.
End of the second over, 1 for 21.
Now the thing is, though, is that South Africa is putting up a ridiculous run rate. Which so far is certainly outpacing the Baylrans. Adam Tursel going into the attack now. And we can see here, that's a run rate of 1050. Baylra left off on 8 or so, I think. Oh, he runs into his crease and he gets it too. Now, for some reason, another thing in this game is that if you make it part of the uniform, they will always wear hats, unless they are the bowler, in which case they will take off their hat. And if you make hats part of the uniform, wicketkeepers will always wear them instead of helmets. So, I do want to fix that. Ah, he could have dove for that one, I think. But I'm not too sure how much I like the Baylra uniform that I came up with. I think it stays true to the Baylra colors, especially with the maroon. I do like the maroon and gold. But then it transitions to white on the stripe with the pants, and I'm not too sure if that's a smart idea. Unfortunately, because of the limitations of uniforms in this game, which have to be created in the game, using preset patterns and colors, that was necessary, and I guess it's a good trade-off for having white on the top part of the uniform. I am going to see if I can get these helmets and hats to appear properly, which probably means looking at what in-game pre-made teams do instead. Excuse me. Alright, so I'm just going to go look at the stream real quick. And in a couple overs, I think I'm going to change it back to no trail in the circle or anything. 2 watching now, which means someone who is not me is watching the stream. Ah, that's over the rope, and 72 meters. A high flyer, 6. Still nothing compared to that 100-meter shot we saw during the Baylra first innings. Current run rate 10.85, South Africa destroying Baylra bowling. Baylra are certainly a much better batting side than they are bowling. It's just a matter of can they control that disaster. Or maybe they're just not very good at dealing with power plays. Alright, I do want to know... Okay, no, someone did subscribe to me. That person, did actually subscribe. I wasn't sure if they were actually subscribed, or if they were just, talking about it. Now, it says there's 2 people watching, which means that someone that's not me is watching this right now. Or it for some reason counts me watching on my computer and me watching on my phone separately. Possibly. I mean, I don't know if when you're watching it from Creator Studio on YouTube, if it actually counts. Now, I'm going to see how this turns out in the end, if it screws up. Hopefully it doesn't. I'm just fingers crossed here that it works the way I want it to in the future. Especially with it being live. Because right now, this live stream is so slow. It looks... Oh dear! Oh, that's 4. I'm still not sure what to think of the Baylra inside bowling. So, on one hand, I want to say that I made the match fair enough that it would produce a exciting result. But so far, we've had our moments. We've had that 100 meter of 6 off of the Baylra side. We had that hat trick, hat trick. Excuse me. Let me fix this real quick. Not there. It's here. For the next 5 overs, I'm going to try to do this with nothing on, and see how bad it is.
Yes, bowler!
There's a bowler. Now, South Africa have just been blasting Baylra to pieces here. Where is that ball? 4. I can't see it, so yeah. I am definitely turning something on. I'll turn the ball show on. Or no. Well, landing circle is just unrealistic. So I'll turn ball trail on. So yeah, just I may have made the Baylra bowling a bit unimaginative, if that's a thing. That's the right word I'm looking for. Oh, we've got a move in. What the? Oh, just skirts by his legs, and that's another 4. I can't tell if it's just the bad positioning, unlucky positioning, the power play, the bowling. It's not what I'd call predictable. The way in which this game flows. Oh. That goes by. South Africa destroying the Baylra and Zimbabwe. Even more. Excuse me. Now this live stream is, again, and this is something I know I'm basically a broken record at this point, but I do feel like this needs to be emphasized that right now, even if the live stream is so terribly slow, I'd like to emphasize the fact that I am going to be changing this, or at least hopefully fixing it, once I figure out what the problem is. Since I started streaming 8 minutes ago, and I can tell you that I've been streaming for over an hour and a half. No, almost an hour and a half. So that's a lie. At least I can tell you one thing. This is still... and there goes my headset. I can tell you one thing. My father is obsessed with golf this weekend. The US Open is on this weekend. This is a lot more interesting than that. Golf is a boring sport to watch. At least it's not too bad playing. But especially this weekend, when the pros are doing as bad as 12 over par. Yes, that's right. Last I saw of Ricky Fowler, he was doing 12 over. I think that's how he ended his days, 12 or 11 over par. Something like that. And I can tell you, even if this is laggier, it's definitely more interesting. Up! Missed on the ball. Excuse me.
Change and bowling lineup for the fielding team.
Keeper!
Oh, so South Africa 7 in on their innings. Now I think I'll just end this after the 20 are up. Because in all honesty, I don't really want to sit through this, so I'll probably simulate the other half. Because I really just want to get the streaming issue fixed. So what I'm thinking is, once South Africa's first innings are up, and they've got a 51 from 34. Yeah, so once South Africa's innings are up, I'm gonna go back, try and figure out what the problem is. And then play the next 2020 and finish up the match that way. So, in the middle of their game, I'll pause and fix it up. This guy has some interesting hair. I've just realized I may have screwed up with his hair when I was making that. Because it looks like he has... You just saw him pass the bowler. He's got both brown and like a dirty blonde type of hair. Actually, here, let me look at the interactive replay and show you. As we wait through. Let me just pause that here. I do not know how this ended up this way. But George below this, who I didn't notice had this hair because he had his helmet on in the first innings. Look at this. Has blonde hair on the top and brown hair on the sides, and I'm not sure why. It looks like he has two hairstyles, honestly. It looks like somehow it screwed up and put two different types of hair on him. I'm honestly not sure. As I guess this is a good time to show you the interactive replay, which is pretty nice in this game. It shows you anything. You can see the Empire's view. You can see the other umpire making the signal for 4. And all his equipment. And we're back to actual gameplay after 8 full overs. So 12 overs left on South Africa's first innings before we go to the break, and I fix my problems with the live stream, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Now, you know what's occurred to me is that it could possibly be that in OBS, my recording software, is the problem. In that I've set the bitrate too low, which I could probably check right now, in fact. You know what? Let me do that. Oh, no, I could, well, I'll see you guys in a second. Let me see. Now, oh yeah. Alright, I'm apparently watching this to myself. Because there's only 2 people in here. And one of them is my phone, which I have signed in under a different account. Which I can tell because I can actually subscribe to it. Which means that it's actually on my main account, my main Google account, my private one. And the other one is apparently my live dashboard. So I'm talking to myself, and only myself. Well. And I'm still talking, apparently. But once I figure out this stream issue... Excuse me, again. I am messed up. No, you probably just heard me typing. I'm first of all going through Discord. Second of all, figuring out. Excuse me. Where? Oh. Maybe I should probably be using this instead. Anyways, ooh. Oh. Um. Okay. That might have something to do with it. Um. What's it called? Anyways, I will see you guys shortly once I fix these problems.